love for analog has always been one of the guiding principles for us at Baum-kuchen. For me, it started at a very young age when I, once on a trip in England, came across a machine called an all-win. You insert a coin, you receive a steel ball, and you get to flick it into a playing field, and if it hits any of the targets, you win another coin. And hence it's called all-win. But what really happens is the ball most of the time misses the targets and goes out, and you lose. I was so intrigued by this that I asked one of the attendants there to open it up for me so I can have a look inside, and was surprised to see that there was hardly anything in there. Probably because the whole objective was to lose. But what also surprised me was to see that there were no electric components. In fact, the whole machine didn't even plug in. It was an all analog piece. With that knowledge, I went home and asked myself if I could actually build a better one. And I got some wood, a jigsaw and a drill bit and got to work. 2 years later, after many trials, I finished what was called the Lost Maya Temple, loosely inspired by many of the Tintin books I was reading at the time. And if I now look around my studio, I see my love for analog has since only grown. Many of the machines and tools and gadgets and trinkets that I have are all along the lines of celebrating some aspect of the analog experience, whether it relates to photography or other machines that create typography or any kind of artistic or design expression. I'm always going after something that ideally has a real mechanical feature to it. And I believe it creates a certain sense of warmth in the process, that if you put down the tool, if I'm not actually using it, it actually does not do anything. And I need to be actively interacting with it for it to come alive and for it to do the magic that it then creates or outputs. And so at Baum-kuchen, we've made it just not only a passion, but really a mantra, a way of living in how we create the designs and artifacts that we share with our customers. That everything starts in an analog kind of process, and many of them end up being the exact same analog sketch that we actually started with. Like, there is not really any alteration going on. And I believe that is what creates this authentic feeling that there is another human being that has worked on this and created it and made it. And with this love for analog now going into its 15th year of our Baum-kuchen studio history, I'm really looking forward to making the coming years even more so filled with all things that we're passionate about, artifacts that celebrate our love for analog. Thank you.